coming in as a new person, it's pretty disappointing on question time and other moments, the sort of shouting and the calling that goes on. It's not actually, I think, as constructive as it should be. And, I think it might be marginally better than last parliament, but I would still like to see a lot of improvement. And certainly myself and, other crossbenchers, one of the things I think that was constructive this week was making an amendment to the standing orders to ensure that we had some, on urgent matters, we still had opportunity for debate. So I think, myself and I'm sure some other crossbenchers will be trying to work on continuing to make sure that we improve the culture of the parliament to make it truly accountable to the people, which is the purpose of it.
I think many Australians would thank you for that, for helping to tone down the shoutiness in Parliament that sometimes happens there.
It really does. It doesn't feel like any other workplace I have ever worked in, and I don't think that's for the good.
The Labor Party is determined to get their 43% emissions cut legislated. Most reports already show that Australia are already on track to reach that particular target in the next few years or so, and the Greens are saying that the bill is largely symbolic. And they're pushing for more teeth in this particular bill. You say it's enough, though, but why not be more ambitious?
Look, I would love this bill to be more ambitious and, both in terms of, I think the government has been pretty constructive in working, with the crossbench on some of the amendments to the bill already. And, I will be putting forward amendments to the bill this week. That said, I still think it's really important. 43% is not enough by 2030, but to have it legislated as a floor, not a ceiling, I think, gives business real certainty to make that investment. And then I think we need to put the policies in place to drive faster and so that we can achieve at least 50% by 2030.
Now, I want to turn our conversations now to the Gama Festival that's ongoing right now. The Prime Minister is expected to outline the referendum question today. Now, Liberal MP Jacinta Price had signalled, though, that a voice to Parliament may divide Australia. What are your thoughts? Do you think it will?
Look, I think there's an opportunity for the whole of this country to get behind a voice to Parliament and do this in a really, really constructive way. And so I think there is that opportunity. I take her words. I understand what she said, and I acknowledge, that a voice to Parliament doesn't solve all problems at all. There is much more other work that needs to be done, that to be supported. But I think that, if the Parliament, if both parties can get behind this, I think that there's a great opportunity for the whole country to get behind this. And I think we need to make sure that it's real clarity that this isn't, a veto. This isn't. This doesn't supersede Parliament in any sense in the way that Labor is suggesting it. This is just a voice, and I think that is absolutely crucial.
Earlier in the week, the Treasurer laid out a very grim outlook for the nation's economy for the next 18 months at least. We spoke a little earlier to Assistant Treasurer Stephen Jones there, who said that, the government can't keep writing cheques to help people. He pointed out the fact that this new government has inherited $1 trillion debt as well. But at a time when people are struggling to keep up with the cost of living, and we are expecting electricity power prices to go up even higher, is it time for the government to be looking again at subsidies for businesses and financial packages for people?
Look, I think, part of the driver of inflation that we have is actually because of really high government spending. So I think we have to be cautious about how much more government spending we put into the economy. That said, I think the government could be doing more. I think it should be dealing, the business community has said that migration is absolutely critical, and, skill and labour shortages are part of the drivers of inflation. So I wish that, I've been very vocal that the government should be dealing with that very quickly and not just waiting for the skills summit. Secondly, I think that looking at gas prices and what foreign companies who are taking Australian gas, and charging Australian companies and consumers these extremely high prices driven by the war on Ukraine, while they make super profits, I think is a real issue. I'm a business person. I'm not one to say to business, business needs certainty to make investment decisions, but they're profiting from a war, and then Australian people are paying the price of those gas prices that are driven by a war. And so I think that the government should be doing more in terms of negotiating with the gas companies that are making those supernormal profits to say, how can we make sure that Australian consumers, Australian households, don't face, get some benefit, I think, from the super profits that these companies are making.